Look at that coffee. Oh, so good. The steam blowing off of there. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning. I was thinking I almost always do nighttime streams, so I figured I'd see if anybody overseas. Hello in England. I was thinking of you this time. Just thinking of how you guys always miss them because I'm always doing them at night. So, hey everyone, how you guys doing? You adored the Ginger interviews. Thank you so much. Share them, pass them around, get people to watch them. I don't know why YouTube will not circulate them, but it's a really good interview and it deserves to be heard. So, I know over time it will be, but it's just so frustrating. Hello in Indiana. I'll be passing through there soon. I think I'm going to go and stop at Shannon Hoon's grave. You like Ginger? Yeah, I think she's a really nice person. Me personally, I don't think you have to pick like one person or another to believe or not believe. I think everybody, this is something that Danny Smith mentioned to me. And I think he's right. He said, you know what? It's very well possible that Elvis told each person individually something different, He's like, he goes, Jordan, you're a guy. Sometimes you've told your guy friend something that, to be cool because you didn't want to tell him the truth, but you told your girlfriend something else. And he goes, you just never know, honestly. So yeah, I thought her coming on and telling her story and everything was so cool because she very rarely does it. She's not looking for any publicity or anything. She just wants people to quit believing lies and those kind of things. I'm gonna be. Did you say norm states? What's that? Normal states, or what does that mean? Hello in Missouri. I think I'm gonna try and make my way to Missouri here in the next couple weeks. Hello in San Antonio. Hi Rachel. I want to stop out there and visit at some point. I was actually thinking maybe I don't think I'll make it to San Antonio, but I was thinking on my next trip just making a big giant loop and making it to Dallas. So I might make it to Dallas. I don't think I'll make it to Brex and Waco, but if I figure out when I'm going to be in Dallas, I'll invite Breck to come up and maybe he can come up and visit. It's not really on my... I have an idea of a route that I want to take, and his place is just off the path. Hello in Terre Haute. Yeah, the college years of Larry Bird. One of the all-star beer drinkers of all time. And one heck of a great basketball player. Come to East Texas. I will be. If I do that trip, I will be. When am I coming back to England? I don't know. I don't know yet. Not quite yet. Hello in Kentucky. I'm sure I'll be passing through Kentucky. I think I might try and hit Pennsylvania again on this trip too. Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Because I got to be up in Ohio for the Kiss concert. Man, this coffee's hot. I got it. Made it right before we got on here. I didn't think it would be this freaking hot for so long. Thank you, Cooking with the Kid, for the super chat. You said gas money for the motorcycle or a new sticker for the helmet. Thank you. Yeah, the motorcycle's awesome. It's a lot of fun. You should see the church where Johnny Cash married Vivian. That would be on my stops. That's in San Antonio, correct? I believe that's where they were living when he was stationed, or I know less Johnny Cash history than I know, like Waylon and Hank, just because I'm Willie, people like that. Just haven't got deep into Johnny yet as far as the vlogs. I've done some, but thank you, Allison Close. That's very nice of you. Thank you for the super chat and the funny emoji. Come to Blackpool, England. I've been told. I know the tower. When I came to London, I think it was the second time, I did a meetup in London, and somebody brought me postcards of that tower in Blackpool. I've already done the Dakota Hotel John Lennon video. I did it about a year and a half ago, I think. I was kind of thinking maybe I'd like to go up to Manhattan pretty soon too, because I have a friend that she works for like a pretty big hotel, and said that she could, since I'm a vlogger, she could get me probably like a complimentary room there so I could vlog it. So I don't know if I told you when I went and did Manhattan, you really couldn't find a decent hotel room in Manhattan for like less than $200 a night. So though I don't generally take freebies, in this case I know her pretty well, so I know she doesn't expect anything in return. Lucy and Desi Museum, I was just talking about that last night. Am I dressing up for Halloween? Yes. I will give you a little hint. This is part of my costume. Did I watch the feed from the Candlelight Vigil? No, I was there. I vlogged the Candlelight Vigil. Yeah, I actually went there. That was I did a whole week of Elvis Week. No, I bought a Mr. Potato Head costume because it's intergender. You can switch whichever one you want, and I thought that would just be fun if one of my friends decides to pop over and they need a costume. But yeah, I bought mine. I'm doing Killer Clowns. Yeah. My girlfriend said we should get like a cotton candy machine. And I said that's a great idea because of the way it is in the movie. Will the Joster be dressing up? That's a good question. Where's Ja? My friend called me last night and asked if she could spend the day with Ja today, and asked if she could pick him up in the morning. So he's out having a date or having fun. No, I haven't been to Terre Haute. Not yet. I've been to Motown. Yep, I've been to the Jimmy Stewart Museum as well. How's Eric Singer? He's good. He's drumming. He's on tour. I'll see him next week. Ja likes cats. He doesn't get along. Yeah, totally. I meant to drive, or I was going to try and go up and read, because I had passed through the town where they filmed Killer Clowns when I was up near San Francisco, and I meant to do it before I moved, and I just didn't get a chance to. So at some point I'll go back and do that. Hope you do a vlog on Eric Carr in the future. Yeah, probably at some point. I believe he's buried in New Jersey, so. Yeah, that was just kind of like indicative of my youth. I remember when all that was going on, the white belt and all that stuff. So it's one of those fun things. I ended up using it for a prop in a couple of my videos. So it's one of those fun things that you can, from your youth. Sometimes you want to get something that reminds you of your youth. So that was one of those things I did. And they ended up giving me that signed photo because we had a meetup there, and it wasn't planned or anything because I didn't want, you can't really invite a bunch of people to a store and overcrowd them and everything. But we had, probably 20 or 30 people come out, and they were all buying stuff. So in the end, the people that ran the store were like, that was really cool of you to do this. So they ended up throwing that in with all my stuff, and then they discounted the belt a little bit, which is good because I just saw Hulk Hogan the other day posting a sale for these belts and that they were like $50 off or whatever. And I went on there and I go, oh, that's funny. Even $50 off, they're still like 150 more than they charged me. So, hello in Defiance, Ohio. Didn't spend any time up there, but I know of it. I had some friends that lived up there. That's kind of like up near Lima, right? You love the Gone with the Wind Museum. There's, if you're ever wondering if you like a vlog that I did and you're wondering if I did, just go to my channel and type in, like, say Gone with the Wind. You might be amazed how many Gone with the Wind related vlogs I've done, because I've done quite a few, not just the museum, but I went and viewed the facade of Terra the very last time that it was shown to the public before they sold it. I went and filmed stories with a historian that links up a lot of a lot of things that Margaret Mitchell was told, or things that she lived through that she ended up putting in the book or changed, or people she knew, and where they filmed it at the 40-acre lot and just all that stuff. You might be surprised. Graves and all that stuff. I mean, one of the fewer or lesser seen vlogs is when I went to the Jimmy Carter Museum. I did a separate video because they had a room that was like all displays on movies made in Georgia, and or about Georgia or something related. And they had like Gone with the Wind Academy Award on display and things like that in there from Gone with the Wind. So yeah, there's all kinds of little nuggets of interest all over the videos. You live in Exeter. Okay. I was never a Coldplay. I like a couple songs, but I wasn't really a fan. Yeah, Peter Bonner is a trip. Peter Bonner is the guy that I did that tour with, and he was really cool too, because I could totally understand if he would have said, "Hey, please don't film this because this is how I make my living," or something like that. But he actually said, "You know what? I get what you want to do, so just don't film the whole thing, Or if I tell you, like, please don't film this, just don't film it." So he was cool about it. I would pick and choose parts and I told him afterward, because when he was telling us stories, we were out there for 2-3 hours. And I told him, I said, hey, just because I film stuff, don't think that I'm going to use all of it. I said, my goal is to like edit this down to like 30 minutes or 20, something like that. Just enough to get people interested in coming out to your, to take the tour and enjoy it with you. Sorry, I can't get these to scroll. There we go. Jaw's great. He's always good. When have you ever seen Jaw not good? Trust me. Jaw lives the life of a king. Oh, now the screen went blank. There we go. Hello from St. Paris. Yeah, I know St. Paris. They used to, when I was a kid, they used to talk about St. Paris, Ohio, because they used to say that there was a haunted cemetery there. Hello in Cleveland. Will I be getting Jaw brother or sister? Probably not, because I travel so much. Hello in Scotland. Good to see you. Thanks for being awake and popping in. Have you noticed a change in Jaw since you moved? He's more attached to me than ever before, which is hard to believe, but yeah, he is. He's more attached to me, but he's definitely happier too. So yeah, I've been to Canada. I vlogged it. I spent a little over a week, I think like a week and a half in Montreal and Quebec City. Thank you. Thank you for watching the Ginger interview. You like the Night of the Living Dead? Did I do the Blob? Nope, I didn't. I didn't really like the Blob. Yeah, Jaw does love the pool. He loves the ducks. He got in the pool not yesterday, the day before. Hopefully I can visit BC someday. Yeah, maybe. You never know what the future holds. You've been to 49 states and 15 countries? Good. Awesome. You can do an episode about the Ed and Lorraine Warren Occult Museum? No, I don't know about that one. I already did an occult museum. I did the one in like Cleveland, so. I mean, I filmed it the best I could, but I just don't believe in that stuff. I just don't buy into it, so. But it was kind of interesting that once I put the video up, the owners of the museum actually commented and said like, "Hey, thanks for being so respectful the way you made the video and everything. Like a lot of people don't." I was like, "Hey, I'm just showing what they're showing in there." But I just don't believe in it, so it's just not something. I was curious. That was why I went to the first one, because there used to be a different one. There used to be a bigger one and everything, and then it kind of like was shrunk down to what it is now. Let me adjust this phone because I think the weight of the phone is making it. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear you have stage 4 cancer. Have you seen the 1972 version of Tales from the Crypt? No, I haven't, but I love Tales from the Crypt. Movies and the TV shows and all that stuff, so. Big fan of the Crypt Keeper. Some year I'll get a life-size Crypt Keeper that talks and put him out in the... I try to be respectful to everyone I vlog. I haven't been, though. I couldn't for John Holmes and some people like that, but I try not to vlog anybody that I don't have respect for, so I generally stick to vlogging people that I'm, inspiring in some way, not just because they had a gruesome death or something. What did I think of North Carolina? I didn't get to see a whole lot of it. It was cool. It looks like the South. Hello in Knoxville. Yeah, I was considering moving to Knoxville at one point. I got a new Frisbee my last trip. I don't need to take Jaw to see Caesar Milan. Jaw's the most well-behaved dog there is. Besides, that's another one. Not real impressed with the way I see him handle dogs. Yeah, Knoxville's great. It just wasn't for me. It just didn't feel like the right place for me. When I drove around and was doing stuff, it just didn't feel like like home for me. Didn't feel like what I was looking for. Have you ever interviewed Steve Vai? No, I haven't. That would be interesting. Steve Vai is a very interesting guy. I don't listen to all of his music. I mean, he's got a vast catalog, but I would, what I would love to ask him mostly about would be being in Crossroads and the way he got into Frank Zappa's band. Those are two very fascinating things. Thank you, Susan Gordon. You said thank you for all your hard work making fascinating vlogs. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's a fun life. How's my mom doing? She's still not doing well. She's still been having blackouts, she said, so that's not good. But, I mean, she's taking it easy. She's been to the doctor. They've tested her and stuff, and they can't, so. Yeah, good morning. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for all the prayers. I know she appreciates it. She might even be watching now and just not participating. Who knows? Hello in Fort Worth. I've been there. Yeah, there was something I really wanted to do in Dallas the last time I was. It's not in Dallas, but it's a little outside of Dallas that I wanted to do, and made a plan for it and everything with the people that own it, and then they had a death in the family, so I didn't end up getting to do it, but I'd really like to do it. No, I'm not doing the meet and greet at the Kiss show because I've already met him and I've taken 2 photos with him on this tour, but I'm gonna get I believe the deal is, or what I'm told is I'm gonna get backstage passes for not backstage, they're not really doing a backstage, it's sound check. Passes to come early for sound check so I can say hi and everything, and I'll probably vlog it. I think I'll vlog it. Why not, you know? I love going to see Kiss, and this is another unique experience. I've never been to the sound check before, so it'd be kind of cool to see a little bit of that. Very nice thing for him to offer. I didn't ask, but he was very nice to offer it. You love the Ginger interview. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that it did everyone justice involved. So don't know how long I'll stay on today. We'll see how long people are interested. I just noticed when I got on, I was like, nothing really interesting posted today and no one doing anything live. Maybe I'll just do something live since I'm here alone. Maybe I'll go out and ride. God, I hate this phone. You know, the funny thing about that is the obsession with these trolls to come on here. Like, for as much as they claim to hate me, what a pathetic life you must live to spend your time watching every single thing I do. To the point where you create fake accounts of other people. That is a true loser. That is a true bottom of the barrel. But the guy who does it, it's always the same guy. He has nothing going for him. He's a pathetic piece of garbage, and he just wakes up, sees stuff like this is going on, collects his government check, and has a blast, you know. Why is John not here? Because my friend asked if she could take him out with her today. The muscle spasms are good. I mean, they're like, I haven't had one since that night. Somebody commented that you're supposed to have pickle juice. And surprisingly, when I got off of here, I went and did take a small shot of pickle juice. And I don't know if it was coincidence or if it really did work, but it did stop, so. She wants to be seen with Cha. It's very possible. Very possible. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple of Elvis videos in the work, like still coming up, but my girlfriend said the same thing. She told me I needed to have more potassium and magnesium, so she seems to know all. You have a video with Memphis Mafia Kid. I did a video, but I got to see if I can get permission to air it. And then Lowell Hayes sent me something when we were at the at Elvis Fest. He's like, you know what you need? You need this. He goes, but I don't have any with me, and I don't have them on my website or anything. But he said, I can get you one if you want it. And he told me what it was. I said, yeah, I want it. So I made a video of the unboxing of that. You said pickled shots do work? It seems like it. Well, yeah, you said trolls are jealous people that have no hobbies. No, that their hobby is being a fan. It's always being a fanboy of someone and them not being able to connect with that person. So they take the John Hinckley route, the well, I'll just go stalk them and harass them and let their fanboyism turn into creepiness. Because they do it to multiple people. I mean, all the people get postcards from this guy, and they all come from the same place in Washington, so everybody knows who it is. Yeah, people are crazy. They need to get no. They need to get a job. They need to find something to take up their time. You got something productive to do. You don't have time to go on and harass other people's lives. To me, it's just sad. Like, it's truly sad because it's either something wrong mentally, or it's just an evil behavior because there's no end game. You get nothing out of it. You're angry because someone else has a cool life. That's sad. Most people I think that watch my channel watch it either because they can't get out and go see those places themselves or because they're looking for somewhere to go. So why hate on that? But I always I go by what my stepdad used to say when I was growing up. He would say the best revenge is living a good life. And I have a beautiful home, the most beautiful woman I could ever hope for, the sweetest, nicest woman, the most wonderful dog I could ever hope for. There's nothing that their silly words can do. I mean, I think it's sad that they still are out there harassing people that used to be in my vlogs, still out there harassing them past year later. It's sad. I think it's just the climate we live in. Unhappy people look for a way to lash out. So YouTube is that for them. They can create over 100 aliases so that no matter how many times they're blocked, they'll always be able to have another one to go make a comment. But I've blocked so many words on my channel, most of their stuff doesn't even come in. You can actually block words so that if somebody comments that word, the comment will never show up. So I've done that with almost every ex that I've ever talked about in a video or friends that I'm not friends with anymore. I just block their names so that people can't make comments about them, can't harass them through my channel. The Ellerby Museum was awesome. I agree. It's a small section of the museum, but like what they have, that whole museum was one man's collection, other than the Andre stuff. And then the woman who I took out there, or who I met up with out there, she was the one who inherited what's in there, and she said this was all the stuff I had in my attic, and I just thought it should go somewhere. It should be somewhere. So that's always my goal. Show you places that you maybe never get to see, and try and show it in a positive manner. Not there's nothing more that I hate when I turn on a YouTube video if it's somewhere I think I won't go, or I'm just curious as to like what it was, like maybe somebody's grave, and then you have the person on there going, well, they ran a bunch of stupid movies that were like pretty cheesy and hokey, and they're just like I can't stand that when people insult the work of the person they're vlogging. And I see it on multiple people's channel, like do that, and I just go, why did you even bother coming out and do a movie location video if you're just gonna crap all over it? You want to go back to Memphis and see the Tiger Man dojo? Well, heck, Jeff, the only thing stopping you is you. Put in a 1 week vacation and hop in a car and drive there. You can do it in one day. I've done it. I mean, I found that I can put in about I think about up to 12 to 13 hours a day in driving, and you can, I mean, you'd be amazed how far you can get in 12 hours. And money, well, yeah, you need, well, I guess, but sleep in your car. You just got to pay for gas then. No, I'm kidding. I know it's not easy for people to take off, but it is, you know, one thing that I think I would tell you is if you're going to go to Tiger Man, try and go on the weekend, because I think that's when Spa Guy's there. If I remember right, I think he told me he was there on the weekend. So maybe not every. I'll have to double check with him, but I thought that was because I think he does his tours on the weekends. You started dating again, Lisa? Well, congratulations. No reason not to enjoy your life if you feel ready. Sleep in your car, eat at the food mission. There you go. Do it now before the weather gets bad. I'm just kidding. No, but I you know, I think people, every chance they should try and get away. It's good for your overall mental state. I was talking to one of my neighbors the other day, and he was telling me, he was like, man, I haven't taken more than a 3-day vacation in 10 years. And I said, why? And he goes, because of my business. He's like, I wish I could, but in the business I'm in, it's not going to do itself. So, you know, if I'm not there. So I was like, I used to have a friend that said that. They had like 4 cats, and they would say, well, I can never take a vacation because I have to take care of the cats. Once I got the cats, that ended all my vacations because that was the commitment I made. And I was just like, well, I guess you can look at it that way. Well, they say, I mean, like, yeah, you gotta like kind of like disconnect yourself from your normal life sometimes. Disconnect yourself from your job for a while, disconnect yourself from family problems or financial problems or things like that sometimes. Sounds like farming and ranching. Well, yeah, I think he's in I think his business is lawn care or something like that. Something related to like something that you take care of, landscaping or something. Oh, thank you, Ja Mai. Thank you for the super chat for Ja. Yeah, just try and not take your vacations when everybody else is taking them, because they do jack the prices up. I see it, like, it's no joke. When during COVID, you could stay in the guest house at Graceland for about $139 a night, and during Elvis week, it was close to $400. No, wait, what was it? It was, let me see, 6. No, I think it was like 300, 3 or 350, something like that. So that was early on when I was traveling. People go like, how can you afford to travel when you're like such a young channel? Well, I would fly when, like say, like there would be a deal on a ticket round trip from LA to London for like $300. That's what I would buy. Or like one time I found one to Budapest for like $360 round trip, and I was like, oh man, I can't pass that up. I want to go. So I went, and then every time I looked after that, I never saw a ticket less than like $900. So early on, that's what I would do, is I would find places I wanted to go, the cheapest ticket possible, and then stay in like hostels for between $8 and $15 a night, because that's all I could afford. But it paid off, because I always said then, I'm like, I'm just gambling on myself that at some point people will pick up on my channel and watch it, and I'll get enough views to sustain myself. How much during Christmas? I forget because when I was there for Christmas, it was during COVID, and I want to say the prices were discounted then. Because I was supposed to go, let's see, we were supposed to go originally when COVID first happened. Amy and I had a trip planned. We were going to go in March. And then like right as it was coming up to that trip, everything was closing. Like all the places that we wanted to go, like Tupelo Birth House was closed. All these places were closed. Only place that wasn't closed was Graceland. And I would call them every day and they would say, no, we're not going to close. We're not going to close. And I go, you sure? Because like, what if we get tickets and we come and then you close? And she goes, I'm telling you, we're not going to close. And they never did. But when I had those reservations booked, those were $230 a night. And I just had to eat it on those. Like, they wouldn't refund it because I had booked it and everything. So I think at that point, though, I had only booked one night there because I wanted to like go to the Peabody and go to other places too. And so I ended up just eating it on that one. And then the next time we went, it was more COVID prices. So now I don't know what it is if you book it today, but because the last time I booked it was for Elvis Week and I knew the prices were going to be more expensive. Thank you. Is that Noel? Noel Ramos, thank you. You said you had a cruise paid for last October and it was canceled and refunded. Good for you. Sometimes they don't want to refund that kind of stuff. I had Rolling Stones tickets for San Diego, and then when COVID happened and everything, I kept them and kept them and kept them. And then after, like 8 months, 9 months, I was like, you know what? I might as well just get my money back because I don't know where I'll be whenever they do decide to play this. They may never play it, And I remember calling Ticketmaster and they go, okay, yeah, we can refund your money because the band hasn't rescheduled the date. But if they would have rescheduled the date, or if you have tickets for any other show and they have, even if the date's 2 years off, they won't refund your money because the date is now intended to be honored. So that was how they told me. So I ended up getting my money back for that. But I would love to see the Stones again. They were amazing live. So. You said always buy insurance. One tip I would give you, never use Priceline. Priceline I've never had, anytime I've had a problem on a trip and I've had to contact Priceline, nothing was ever done. I rented a car one time where I showed up there and they're like, oh, we won't honor your insurance for the car unless you have over $100,000. It was like, what? Seriously? So they wanted to charge me like $20 a day was what they were charging for their insurance, something like that. And I go, no, I'm not going to do that. So I called Priceline and I was like, told them what happened, everything. They said, okay, well, we'll call them. And if they verify that you didn't pick up the car, then we'll refund your money. But if they, and then so they called them and like 20 minutes later, they call me back to go, sorry, we've been calling them and calling them. They won't answer the phone. So that's one of the moves they do. I'm sure on their caller ID it says Priceline or some number they recognize. They just decide they're not going to answer the phone, and then they get to keep your money. So on that trip, I think that was my trip to Florida. The first, when I came out here and did My Girl and all that stuff, I ended up not using that rental car, losing like $300 and getting a rental car at another company right there. So there you go. I guess those are the things I should be putting in videos, the little life lessons that I'm learning. Also, don't fly on your birthday if your driver's license is going to expire the next day and you think you're going to pick up a rental car. I made that mistake too once. That could have been bad. For one time in my life, I couldn't believe it. They weren't going to rent me my car because my license expired while I was flying, and I just didn't even realize it. And California, actually, surprisingly, you could log in online, and as long as you didn't have to change your photo or your address, they would renew it online. And they actually did renew it online, and I could show the rental car company my receipt that I paid for it, and they gave me the rental car. I couldn't believe it. I was like, never in my life did I think that this would actually work. Everything always just, and that would have been a rough trip without a rental car, let me tell you. Trying to get around Iowa and Oklahoma, and man, that would have been a rough trip. If I would have had to do it on a bicycle or something. What, you said you were flying to Italy and your husband had expired and thank goodness they let him through? Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. They can do that. They can say your license is expired, it's not a valid identification anymore, and they can stop you from flying with that too. You said Kiss said they would never come through Tulsa again because a member was hit in the head with a bottle in 75, but they came through last week, so I guess all's forgiven. Well, money talks. David Bowie used to say, I remember like early on in his career, he had some really bad shows in San Francisco, and he said he would never play there again. A vlog of travel do's and don't tips would be good. That's a good idea. I should do that. Walter's World does a lot of those, so I guess I fall into the trap since I follow him. I just assume since he does everything so well, it didn't need to be done. But there are a lot of things that I've picked up along the way, how I pack and things like that, that make it so much easier. Although I did realize now, because sometimes YouTube will recommend like those shows where it's like the DEA at the airport, like how they catch people trying to smuggle stuff and whatever. And I did realize one of their things that always is like a trigger is something I do. It's that I never have like checked luggage or anything. Like they'll look at my thing. I've seen it a couple times. They'll look at my passport and they go, "You've been here a week and a half and that's all you have is a backpack?" I'll go, "Yeah, I do laundry." But they're always kind of like, but with souvenirs, like, I mean, I think they just assume that you'll have more luggage, but I always have a backpack and like an over the shoulder bag that's my carry-on. So yeah, Rick Steves is also awesome. I like Rick Steves too. I think I love what he does. He actually has a channel on travel, and then you can sign up when he's doing trips and take the trip with him where he's your tour guide. I think that's great. I'm just not that person to do stuff like that, nor am I popular enough to do stuff like that, but I think it's great that somebody like him does. He's a very wealthy man because of it as well. You love the interview with Ginger? Thank you. One of the big compliments for me on it, not only all the people watching it, enjoying it and everything, where in her book, she tells a lot of stories about her sister Rosemary and Elvis, like how like Elvis would tell Rosemary like he can defend himself against anyone in any position, and she would say like, what if I like, he would be sitting on the beach, she'd go like, what if I attacked you like this, and he could like defend himself with his legs and stuff. So she sounded like a real like character in the book. Like Elvis really liked her a lot and that she was real funny and stuff, and she commented on the video yesterday, which I thought was really cool. And she said that she loved it and that that Elvis would be proud, which that's like the best compliment anybody can give you, is when they say, you made Elvis proud or something like that with this video, getting the truth out. Oh, do you really? That's hilarious. You said, I pass Rick Steves walking every day in Edmonds, Washington. That's very cool. Yeah, he just seems like a nice guy. He was somebody that I think, it seems like his story was that he just went on a international trip when he was 18 and just got the bug and then just kept doing it. Gabriel Traveler is a lot like that. He has a channel where he's always somewhere. He stays in like a country or a city for a day or two, and then he's gone. And I think he's got a pretty cool life too. I think that would be, because his trips just last so long. I think I would get lonely, even making friends on the road and that kind of stuff. I think I like to come back and see my friends. I need to catch up. I'm one of those people. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Richard. I hope she gets well. I'm glad that my channel helps cheer her up. Love my channel. The Elvis and MASH episodes are your favorite. Yeah, the MASH one is really interesting because I was working on I think it was an Apple commercial that day. And we wrapped early, and I realized I was out near the MASH site, so I went out to do the MASH vlog and ran into X-Pac from the NWO and D-Generation X. Couldn't believe that. I was retitling videos yesterday and I came across that one. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Some of the weird experiences I've had out here. Not, you said you'd love to see me travel with Bob. I'm not sure who that is. I've decided that Scott and my girlfriend and maybe Mike Altini are about the only people I could probably travel with. Doing vlogging, I think those are the only people I could travel with because they're the only people that I know that when I'm around them for the most part, we don't have to talk all the time and they don't talk all the time. Some people talk a lot. You'd be surprised. Or Eric Singer pointed this out to me one day. He would say like you'll notice he's like there's some people that if you're not talking about them or if they're not talking about them, they just like they're not even there. They're not even listening. They just a sentence into what you're saying, their eyes are drifting off. And once he said that, I started noticing so many people that I knew that were like that. I'm like, God, if they're not talking about their own life, then they just tune out. So, oh, Video Bob. Yeah, I don't know if I could travel with Video Bob. I don't know about that. I think about the third time he pointed out to someone in public how much he paid for something, I just have to start mocking him. Because that's just one of those things he doesn't. I don't know if he can even catch himself doing it, but he can't tell a story without mentioning how much his watch cost or his shoes cost or that. But Eric and I always say we're like that. That's what makes like that's why people are our friends because they're such charactery people like that. Just something like that where you're like that's just who he is. He's just Did I get settled into my new house? Sure. I sure did. Adam, no, probably not really. I don't think Adam and I would travel this. I don't know. I just don't think we would be interested in vlogging the same things or going to the same areas or we're both Leos and Leos are very like independent, want to do our own thing, very like spontaneous. And that's the way I am. I mean, honestly, whenever when I asked Scott to join the trip, it's literally just like one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, I should just ask him if he wants to fly out tomorrow or the next day, and it just happens like that. I don't really like to plan stuff. Or did you get a chance to listen to the Dennis Wilson? I bought the Dennis Wilson album because I already liked it. So yeah, I did, but I bought it because I thought that was a really cool like 2-pack. But I had it on my hard drive already because I originally had Pacific already on like a single CD by itself years ago. So I already had it, but I didn't have the follow up to it. Thank you. Yeah, and if you like Ginger, go join her Facebook groups. She's very friendly on there. She'll answer your questions, and like she said in the interview, they go out of their way if there's something that somebody has a question about that they can clear up. They try and prove it too. Like if they can show the clipping, or sometimes there are things that people say, well, so and so said this about you. She'll actually print the retraction that when someone came out and said no, that's not. I was misquoted or whatever. She'll actually show the newspaper clipping or whatever where they say otherwise or where it's disproved. So that's kind of one of those things. I just go, hey, you don't have to you don't have to believe her, but I mean, why hate on somebody that's just trying to tell you like, interesting stories? You've been in touch with her. I did see you comment on her page, Wanda. Yeah, I think she's a very nice person. I think, what, I'd say it like this. I don't have a dog in the fight or anything. I don't favor anyone over anyone. If Elvis loved them, there must have been something lovable about them. So I just want people to keep sharing stories that make new fans, because that's how you that's how you keep the candlelight vigils and stuff like that happening every year. Is just making new fans. And where did I put the star rugs? They are outside the sliding glass doors that go from the pool to the inside. So yeah, Lisa is one of my Patreons, and I owed her a Steve Keen painting, and the post office wouldn't ship it because it was too big. I was gonna have to do it through UPS and all that, but it turned out Bruce Kulick had invited me to the convention in Orlando, and that's where I had met her before. So I asked her if she could meet me at the same place, and she got these really cool mats made for me that they look like a star on the Walk of Fame, and one says Jordan, and then the other one says Jordan and Ja. So that was a really nice thing for her to do. You ordered twice from Steve and nothing. Don't get discouraged. You'll get them. Trust me. I ordered from him over 4 months ago and I haven't gotten. I've ordered from him twice, so I'm waiting for 2 orders also. It's not because he's being lazy or anything. He can only really fulfill, he told me when I was there, I think he can only really fulfill 10 to 11 orders per week. So if you can imagine how many, how many times people may have stumbled on my videos or his Instagram or something and order them, get excited, and yeah, it's just a wait. But that's why I say just order them as soon as you want it. It's been 6 months for you. See, then you can always send him an email and ask him how much. But I know I got an email I think a month ago that said thank you for being patient. We're trying to get them out as quick as we can. Trust me, he won't forget. He's very good at that. I mean, there have been things that like when I got the Sparkle Horse stuff from him, he told me that even though he doesn't take requests, he told me that because of how much I have promoted him and stuff, that he would be happy to do anything that I ask. Even when I asked and said, hey, can you do all the Sparkle Horse stuff? He didn't bump me to the head of the line. He still kept me in the same queue order. So 4 months later, when my painting showed up, he remembered that I had asked for it. So those were it. But yeah, he didn't bump me up to the head of the line or anything. Yeah, but like I said, if you email him, he will, or his wife, somebody will get back to you and they'll tell you, because he would never take anybody's money and run. He's not that kind of person. And yeah, he's plus he has 2 email accounts, so maybe make sure that you typed him in properly and all that stuff. But who am I projecting to win the World Series? What I would like to see in the World Series personally is Tampa versus the Dodgers. I think that would be a fun one, and I would like to see Tampa win it, just because I don't know, they've just never won it, and they're always an underdog, perpetual underdog, and the Dodgers just won it, and I don't know. For one thing, I never post anything on Facebook, but I had to yesterday because somebody posted a picture of Tony La Russa and Dusty Baker, and they said, who's going to win it? And I commented, and I mean it. I said, some things are tried and true. Life, death, taxes, and Dusty Baker can't win a World Series. Put your money on that. So that's the one guarantee, is that being a baseball fan my whole life, that guy can't manage. When it comes down to it, he blows it every time. So me personally, I just like to see somebody that hasn't won it in a long time. And the Astros are not that team. White Sox, not really that team, because they've won it a couple times in the last 20 years. Boston, not that team. Giants, they've won it. It just comes down to, I want to see a new team. If the Orioles were in it instead of the Rays, I'd probably be saying the Orioles. I think that's kind of like, sometimes baseball starts to die out. I don't know why. I don't know why fandom for baseball isn't what it used to be. But I think part of the problem is that people get disillusioned by the contracts and that their favorite players are constantly getting switched around and moved around so much. I think when the underdog teams win, that's what gets people back into it. They're kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like, this city has something to be excited about again, you know? Texas Rangers or Cleveland. Cleveland hasn't won it forever. You said you're a Pirates fan, but you're so disappointed. My friend David Taylor says the same thing when I was in Pittsburgh and said, hey, I'm thinking of going to a Pirates game tomorrow. He wrote back and said, beautiful idea, except for the team. He's like, you'll enjoy the stadium, you'll enjoy everything about it except for watching the team. The postseason is way too long. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not for baseball fans. One of the things that popped up in my feed the other day, I believe it was October 5th, was a post that I made in 2013 saying, I can't believe there's no baseball on anywhere today. So that tells you how big of a obsessive fan I used to be. You're a lifelong Angels fan, win or lose. Good for you. You'll never forget your Marlins beating the Yankees in 2003. See, there you go. Wouldn't mind seeing the Marlins win something either. I like Don Mattingly. Since you're a big Elvis fan, what is one tidbit you could share that others would enjoy? Oh, I don't think there's anything I could share that I haven't, probably repeatedly said in most vlogs. Yeah, I don't think there's any real secrets or anything like that. I'm not that person anyway. I told my girlfriend that I'm like, when I die, like, don't share any of my secrets. That's nobody's business. I don't want, I wouldn't want. So I try not to do that. Like when I interview Ginger, I ask her things that I knew she wanted to talk about. I didn't ask her like, you know, silly stuff. Like things that maybe other people. I don't want to dive into his privacy. I want to dive into his personality, and I think you can share someone's personality without exploiting their privacy. That's just me. That's me personally, because, like I said, that's the way I would feel. I would say, like, why would I want everyone to know every? It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I think you should. I think it's always nice to share things that inspire people. Everybody has a bad side. Everybody has a dark side. Everybody has, like, no matter how good someone is, there's something they've done in their past that could be misconstrued as one thing, or taken the wrong way, or things are different times, or whatever. So I'm not ignoring you. My screen went blank. um, yeah, I was never a gossip fan anyway. I know other channels like do really well because they share all the turmoil and all the drama and stuff like that. I don't really have any drama in my life, so I don't really have anything to share in that regard. And I've just learned some things. It's just not. If you share some things, then people feel entitled to know everything. So you either have to do a channel where you just share everything, like the Van City Van Life guy does, or you just kind of draw a line and say, hey, I want some things to be in my life to be just mine. Right, absolutely. You said People have a right, whether they're famous or not, to have a private life. One thing I'll tell you, I did love about Ginger's book that actually made me laugh out loud was Elvis was guilty of something that I'm guilty of a lot, which is if I'm in the room with somebody that I know very well, I cannot help but talk back to the TV. And I remember in her book, she says like he used to do that if he would be watching a movie or something, and like the guy would like go after the girl, and she'd turn him down. He'd go, "Oh, burned." But I know some people can find people that talk through stuff annoying, but that's just one of those things that I catch myself. And my girlfriend laughs through it all the time because I'll all of a sudden see someone go, "Oh," and I just can't help myself. Sometimes you just can't help yourself. Get it out. But I thought it was also funny that she said he would always say like, "Don't watch TV, Ginger, it'll rot your brain." She'd say, "I always thought that was funny from someone who had TVs all over the house, including on the ceiling." And I love knowing that he loved watching the Pink Panther movies, that he liked to do imitations of Peter Sellers. Well, I don't scream at the TV. I argue at the TV. I try and rationally argue with the people that are complaining on the shows. TLC is absolutely the best for that. If I could figure out a way to not get a copyright strike and have me like watching TLC like a live viewing, then I would consider doing a separate channel of that, because things always get out of hand on there. Thoughts on Dusty Rhodes? Interesting guy. Definitely an interesting guy. I found where he passed away, and I was thinking of vlogging that when I get over that way, but I'm not sure if the name the house is now that he passed away in is in his son's name, and I don't know if his son lives there. And I certainly don't want to go, since his son is pretty high profile, I certainly don't want to go stand out front and vlog it and everything if that's his current home. So something I have to find out or take into consideration. But oh man, there's so many good Dusty. The Dusty story that I heard the other day had me laughing out loud. It was trying to remember who told the story, but they were telling about when Macho Man and Dusty Rhodes were having their feud, when they were doing their whole thing. And they said that they had worked out this match where, basically what happens is when they're not filming TV, the wrestlers like get matched up together and they do a tour. They like go hit all these different arenas, and they wrestle the same match in every town. So they know what they're gonna do. Like the match that you saw in Cincinnati will probably be the same match that they saw in Atlanta, if those two are wrestling each other. So they had worked out this match where it was like almost like a comedy match in a way, like where like Macho Man and Sherry were running into Dusty's elbow and all this stuff, and it was getting over. They said like when they would do it, like the fans loved it, and it was a great match and everything. And they said one night Pat Patterson sees the match, and afterward Macho's like, "So Pat, what did you think of the match?" He's like, "Oh, it's the worst match I ever saw. He's making you look like a clown out there. You're doing this and this and this, and you're falling all over the place, and you're just burying yourself." So the next day they go to the arena, and Macho asks Dusty to go into the showers with him. That's where like wrestlers would always talk business. And he goes, "So I was thinking, let's change things up tonight. So what we're gonna do is," and he tells him, like outlines this whole new match that Macho Man wants to do. And he says he gets done, and Dusty's just looking at him, and he says, "You know something, baby? You telling me how to do a match is like telling Babe Ruth how to hit home runs. And he said there's like a moment of silence, and Macho goes, "Well, babe, that's how we're going to do it tonight." And he walks out of the shower. I thought that was a great one. I thought that was so funny. My beard is always on point. Yes, I do shave it myself. I don't think it's on point, but I use a little like mirror in the shower, so that fogs up quite a bit. So I'm just not overly I'm not overly concerned about my looks, as you can tell. So it's not a I don't worry if it's off or anything like that. Oh, your friend is friends with all the old wrestlers? Well, I know a lot of them live in like the Clearwater, Tampa, St. Pete area, because there's like schools all over the place down there, and a lot of them own gyms, or they help out with the WWE stuff, and that's all kind of like right through Central Florida. Oh, and this weekend I'm not going to be there, but for anybody in, I think it's somewhere in Nashville. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. Dukes of Hazzard Fest. Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be there. Oh! Yeah, don't miss that. If you're looking for something to do, Dukes of Hazzard Fest probably be pretty cool. Obviously, I won't be there since I'm at home. It's in Tennessee somewhere. Would I ever buy an authentic Elvis autograph photo? If I could be sure it was actually him, I would, but I'm hoping, I don't have a problem paying for stuff, but in Elvis's case, there's so much fake stuff out there and whatever. I'm just hoping someday in my life, somebody that knew him or somebody that has something. I meet people all the time that, especially like in Memphis, people that had Elvis stories up the wazoo, and like people that grew up there who met him multiple times. I'm just hoping somebody someday will go, you know what? I've had this for a long time. It's real. I know you'd appreciate it here. I'm going to pass to you. And then I'll actually get something real that way. But I'm not opposed to paying for it. I just can't afford what Elvis stuff goes for, I don't have $10,000. I can't afford I can't justify buying like a $10,000 watch that he gifted to someone. I just, my thing is, if I'm going to spend the money, if I were going to seriously get something and spend the money on it, I'd want a picture of him wearing it. And it'd have to be a picture that was, it's not a white necktie and a photo of him wearing a white necktie. It's got to be something pretty identifiable. But you know what? I don't need to own anything. Getting to see all the places that I've seen and being inside of his house and all that stuff, that's enough. Owning things is just, it's just a weight. That belt, that's just something that if I ever moved out of here, I got to figure out how to move, and it's nice to have, but in the long run, the day after you buy something like that, it really doesn't enrich your life any. So just stuff that's fun, Well, I think I'll probably wrap this up. Doesn't look like we have any new conversations really or anything, but it was nice to catch up with all of you. And yeah, thank you for those who are watching the Ginger interview. Share it. I think a lot of people should see it. I think it's a really fun interview. I think she's a good talker. I think that she comes off intelligent. It's not like, sometimes you watch people and you lose interest pretty quick. I think she's pretty fascinating to listen to tell a story. So thank you all for watching. I will catch you next upload, which might be tomorrow. I'm not sure. Trying to kind of like experiment with my uploads and see if I've seen other people on YouTube swear that you get more attention from YouTube if you're only doing 2 videos a week. And then it dawned on me, well, the last time that YouTube was promoting all of my stuff hardcore was after Vlogmas, when I vlogged every single day and then took a break and was only uploading 2 videos a week. I remember thinking then, like, wow, that's crazy how many views I'm getting, and I'm not even posting anything. So I don't know. I may roll the dice on that and see if that has anything to do with it. So if you're wondering why there's only 2 videos, it's just because I'm testing things out. It's not because I have been lazy. I literally have right now I think 15 videos that you guys haven't seen yet that are uploaded for the future. So yeah, thank you all, and we will catch you all next time. Have a great one.